Ravenwood vanished from every map 53 years ago. But on full moon nights, drivers still report seeing its lights. Police call those stories exhaustion, fog, and overactive imagination. The families of the missing know better. Daniel Carter had built his career disproving local legends. He believed fear survived only where facts had failed. Ravenwood seemed perfect for his next investigation. One article, one night, and one forgotten village. He left before sunset with cameras, batteries, and maps. By midnight, the mountain road had swallowed every radio signal. His GPS froze, then erased the road behind him. The temperature dropped, although the heater kept running. Trees pressed closer to the asphalt with every mile. Then the forest became completely silent. No insects, no wind, and no distant animals. Daniel heard only the engine and his own breathing. A weathered wooden sign emerged through the fog. Its faded lettering pointed toward Ravenwood. Fresh tire tracks ended beneath the sign. Beyond it, an unmarked road descended between black pines. Daniel should have turned around. Instead, he switched on his camera and drove forward. The fog closed around his SUV like a wall. His headlights illuminated only a few meters of broken road. Something tall crossed ahead without touching the ground. Daniel braked hard enough to throw his bag forward. The road was empty when the vehicle stopped. He stepped outside with a flashlight and recording camera. The cold air felt thick enough to breathe. A whisper moved between the trees behind him. At first, it sounded like wind through dead leaves. Then it clearly spoke his name. Daniel turned, but the forest remained empty. The voice came again from farther down the road. Warm lights flickered beyond the fog. Ravenwood Village waited beneath a pale full moon. Every wooden house looked abandoned and strangely intact. Smoke rose from chimneys that had not burned in decades. Golden light-filled windows, yet no silhouettes moved inside. Daniel parked beside a dry stone fountain. The village clock read exactly 11:47. His wristwatch stopped at the same minute. His phone died despite showing a full battery. Even his camera display briefly showed tomorrow's date. A front door creaked open across the square. No wind moved the trees or hanging signs. Daniel called out and received no answer. Wet footprints appeared on the porch one by one. They stopped at the open doorway. A child's humming drifted from inside the house. Daniel raised his flashlight and entered. Dust covered the furniture like gray snow. A narrow, clean path crossed the dusty floor. Fresh footprints continued toward a dark staircase. A family photograph rested above the fireplace. Every adult face had been violently scratched away. Only a smiling little girl remained untouched. Her dark eyes looked disturbingly familiar. Daniel photographed the frame for evidence. Upstairs, a tiny music box began playing. The melody was slow, uneven, and almost recognizable. Daniel followed it toward the second floor. Each stair creaked after his foot had already lifted. His breath turned white in the freezing hallway. The music stopped as he reached the landing. A small bedroom door stood open at the end. Inside, a rocking chair moved by itself. A faded red dress lay neatly across the bed. A girl's voice whispered that he was late. Daniel spun around, but the hallway was empty. When he looked back, the chair had stopped. The family photograph now lay on the bedroom floor. A new figure had appeared beside the little girl. It was Daniel, wearing the same clothes he wore tonight. The photograph's date was 1973. His camera suddenly displayed dozens of unfamiliar images. Each image showed Daniel walking deeper into Ravenwood. The final image showed someone standing behind him. A cold breath touched the back of his neck. He turned slowly and found no one. Childish laughter echoed downstairs, then ended abruptly. Daniel hurried back toward the staircase. Every photograph along the walls had changed. The scratched faces were now staring directly at him. Their empty eyes followed him through the house. Outside, the church bell rang once. The sound rolled across Ravenwood like a warning. Daniel ran through the square toward the old church. Its enormous wooden doors were already open. Hundreds of candles burned inside without producing warmth. No priest, worshipper, or living person was present. An old leather journal waited upon the altar. Its final pages described Daniel's arrival word for word. The ink remained wet beneath his trembling fingers. One final sentence slowly appeared across the page. It warned the village not to let him leave. Heavy footsteps began pounding beneath the stone floor. The altar shifted, revealing a narrow trapdoor. Whispers below repeated Daniel's name in many voices. He descended because the church doors slammed behind him. The tunnel walls were covered with wet handprints. Some were adult-sized, while others belonged to children. At the tunnel's end stood a tall antique mirror. Daniel's reflection remained still when he approached. Then the reflection smiled before Daniel did. It lifted one hand against the inside of the glass. Cracks spread outward without making any sound. The reflection stepped through and became solid. It looked exactly like Daniel, except for its eyes. Those eyes belonged to the girl in the photograph. Daniel ran as the tunnel filled with rising fog. Behind him, his double whispered that it was finally free. He burst from the church moments before dawn. Ravenwood began folding into the fog behind him. Houses vanished silently, one window at a time. The church collapsed without touching the ground. Daniel reached the road as sunlight crossed the mountains. When he turned, the village had completely disappeared. Weeks later, Daniel's photograph appeared on a missing person poster. That night, Ravenwood's windows glowed again, and Daniel stood inside.